Welcome to our deep dive, everyone. Today we're going to be exploring this idea called a growth mindset.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a way of thinking that can totally change how you learn and grow,
Okay,
especially you're learning English in a new country.
got it.
Think of it like this.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten stronger, like by lifting weights or practicing a sport?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A growth mindset is similar, but for your brain.
I like that. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's this idea that your abilities, even with language, they aren't fixed.
Right.
They can actually grow and develop the more you use them and challenge them.
Exactly. So instead of saying, oh, I'm just bad at English,
Right.
someone with a growth mindset would be like, hey, I'm learning English and I'm getting better each day.
I love that.
It's about focusing on the journey, not just the destination.
Totally. You got it. And a big part of growth mindset is understanding that challenges
Yeah.
and even mistakes are opportunities to learn.
Yeah.
So imagine you're trying to speak English with someone and you make a little mistake.
Happens all the time.
Right. Someone with a fixed mindset might feel embarrassed and just kind of give up.
Yeah, I can see that.
But someone with a growth mindset, they'd see it as a chance to learn and improve.
Totally.
They might even ask the person, hey, can you correct me so I get it right next time?
Yeah,
It's about seeing those hiccups as stepping stones and not roadblocks.
I like that analogy a lot.
And this is where the work of Stanford professor Carol Dweck comes in.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of her.
She is a leading researcher in this area, and her studies show that people with a growth mindset are more likely to achieve their goals
Wow.
because they're not afraid of making those mistakes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
So how does this apply to all of you listening as you're learning English?
good question.
Let's say you're struggling with a particular grammar rule.
Okay.
Instead of getting discouraged, a growth mindset would encourage you to really break down the problem,
Yeah,
practice,
of course.
ask for help,
Love it.
and celebrate those small victories along the way.
Absolutely. It's like learning to ride a bicycle.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't expect to hop on and be perfect right away.
Mm,
You'd probably wobble, maybe even fall a few times.
For sure.
But with practice, you eventually get the hang of it.
You do. And that sense of accomplishment you feel when you finally master it,
Yes.
that's the power of a growth mindset in action. It helps you persevere even when things get tough.
So true. Now let's contrast this with a fixed mindset.
Okay.
Someone with this fixed mindset might believe that intelligence and talent are set in stone.
Oh, wow.
You either have it or you don't.
Like you're born with it.
Right. They might avoid challenges because they're afraid of looking dumb.
Oh, I can see how that would be really limiting, especially when you're trying to learn a new language and navigate a new culture.
Yeah,
It's almost like they're putting themselves in a box.
precisely. And this fear of failure can become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, wow.
They don't try, so they don't improve, which reinforces that belief that they're just not good at it.
Oh, that's a dangerous cycle.
It is. It is.
So let's say you're at a social gathering and everyone's speaking English.
Okay.
A person with a fixed mindset might just stay silent, worried about making those mistakes.
Right.
But someone with a growth mindset,
Hmm.
they would see it as like the perfect opportunity to practice and improve their conversational skills.
I love that.
They wouldn't be afraid to stumble over words or ask for clarification.
Yeah.
They'd understand that every interaction, even the awkward ones, is a chance to learn and grow.
So true. And I bet a lot of you listening are thinking.
I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, but how do I actually develop a growth mindset?
It's a journey, not a switch you flip overnight, but we've got some practical tips to help you get started.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, be mindful of your self-talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is so important.
Right.
That little voice in your head, it can be your biggest cheerleader or your harshest critic.
So true.
It can really make or break you.
It can. If you catch yourself thinking, I'm so bad at this, challenge that thought.
Yeah.
Try replacing it with something more positive and encouraging, like I'm learning and I'm making progress.
I love that.
Yeah,
It's amazing how much power our thoughts have over our actions.
it's true.
Another key tip
Yeah.
is to embrace challenges as opportunities to learn.
Yes.
Remember that story about the famous author J.K. Rowling?
Oh, yeah. I love her.
Her first Harry Potter book was rejected by 12 different publishers.
Wow.
If she had a fixed mindset, she might have given up right there.
Totally.
But she had a growth mindset. She kept refining her manuscript and eventually found a publisher who believed in her story.
What a story.
And now look at the impact her books have had on the world.
Amazing, right? That's such a powerful example of how perseverance and belief in one's ability to improve can lead to incredible success.
I love that story so much.
It's inspiring, right?
It is.
And don't forget the importance of seeking feedback.
Oh, yeah.
It can be tempting to avoid criticism, but it's actually one of the best ways to learn and grow.
hmm Especially when learning a new language.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask native English speakers for corrections or suggestions.
Exactly. Think of feedback as a gift,
Okay.
a valuable insight that can help you identify areas where you can improve.
I like that.
Remember, even the most fluent English speakers were once beginners who made mistakes and learned from them.
Everyone starts somewhere.
Exactly. And remember, comparison is the thief of joy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Everyone learns at their own pace.
Yeah.
Don't get discouraged if someone else seems to be picking up English faster than you. Focus on your own progress and celebrate your own achievements, no matter how small they may seem.
Right.
Every step forward is a step in the right direction.
I love that. And I know that all of you listening are busy adjusting to a new life.
Right.
So let's make this practical.
Okay.
How can you weave a growth mindset into your everyday experiences?
I'm glad you asked.
One way
Yeah.
is to view everyday interactions as learning opportunities.
Oh.
Chatting with your neighbor, ordering food, watching a movie in English. These are all chances to practice and improve.
They are. And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Right.
The more you use English in real-life situations, the more comfortable and confident you'll become.
Yeah, it's like working out a muscle.
Exactly.
The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
So true.
So get out there and flex those English muscles.
I love it.
This is a great place to pause for now.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground,
We have.
but we're just getting started.
I'm excited.
When we come back, we'll explore even more practical tips for building that growth mindset
Awesome.
and discuss how this powerful way of thinking can positively impact all areas of your life and your new home.
I can't wait.
Me too.
This is going to be good. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about how even just your daily life in this new country can become like a growth mindset training ground.
Yeah, it's true. Think about it. You're surrounded by opportunities to learn and practice English.
Right.
It's like one giant immersive classroom.
And this is where another growth mindset tip comes in.
Okay.
Be curious.
Oh, yeah.
And ask questions.
Yes. Curiosity is like fuel for a growth mindset.
It is.
So don't be shy about asking people to clarify things you don't understand.
Yeah.
Most people are happy to help, and you'll be surprised by how much you can learn just by simply asking.
So true. Imagine you're at the grocery store
Okay.
and you don't know the word for a specific fruit.
Happens to me all the time.
Instead of feeling stuck, just ask someone.
A good idea.
You'll not only learn the new word, but you'll also build your confidence in speaking English.
Yeah, and that confidence will snowball into more learning experiences.
Right.
You might find yourself feeling brave enough to strike up conversations with your neighbors.
Yeah.
Or join a local English conversation group.
These are fantastic ways to immerse yourself in the language and the culture.
For sure.
Don't underestimate the power of simply putting yourself out there and practicing.
Now, I know that adjusting to a new culture can be challenging.
It can be.
There might be times when you feel frustrated or homesick.
Right.
But here's where a growth mindset can really help.
This is so important.
Yeah.
It's about reframing those challenges as opportunities for growth.
Okay.
Instead of thinking, I don't belong here, remind yourself that you're on an incredible adventure.
Yeah.
Learning new things and expanding your horizons.
Totally. You're building resilience and adaptability.
Right.
Qualities that will serve you well throughout your life.
Absolutely. And remember, it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
You don't have to navigate this journey alone.
So true.
Reach out to friends, family, or even support groups for English language learners.
Yeah, there are tons of resources out there.
There are.
Sharing your experiences and challenges can be incredibly helpful and empowering.
Like having a team of cheerleaders on your side,
Yeah.
encouraging you every step of the way. Another important tip is to be patient with yourself.
Oh, this is a big one.
It is learning a new language and adapting to a new culture takes time and effort.
It does.
You won't become fluent overnight, and that's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Celebrate the small victories, acknowledge the progress you're making, and keep moving forward.
It's like planting a seed and watching it grow.
I love that.
You need to nurture it, give it time, and trust the process.
Yeah.
Eventually, it will blossom into something beautiful.
And remember, setbacks are a natural part of the learning process.
They are.
Don't let them discourage you. Instead, view them as opportunities to learn and grow stronger.
So if you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up about it.
Right.
Analyze what went wrong, figure out how to do it better next time, and keep practicing.
It's all about learning and growing.
Remember that story about J.K. Rowling's rejections? It's a powerful reminder that even the most successful people face setbacks along the way. It's how they handle those setbacks that determines their ultimate success.
Now let's talk about something that can be a little tricky.
Okay.
Feedback, we mentioned it earlier, but it's worth emphasizing.
Okay.
You're going to encounter people who offer unsolicited advice or corrections.
Yeah.
Some might even be rude or insensitive.
That can be tough.
It can be, and that can be really discouraging, especially when you're already feeling vulnerable.
It can.
It's important to remember that not everyone will understand your journey or appreciate your efforts.
So true.
And that's where having a strong sense of self-worth comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you are learning and growing, and that's something to be proud of.
Absolutely.
Don't let negative comments derail you.
Yeah.
Instead, focus on the positive feedback and support that you do receive.
Good advice.
It's also helpful to remember that people often project their own insecurities or biases onto others.
Interesting.
Someone who makes a rude comment about your English might be struggling with their own insecurities or prejudices.
I can see that.
Their negativity says more about them than it does about you, so don't let it define you or your progress.
Good point. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the amazing benefits of having a growth mindset.
Okay.
It's not just about learning English. It can positively impact all areas of your life.
Absolutely. Research shows that people with a growth mindset are more resilient, adaptable, and successful in their personal and professional lives.
So it goes way beyond language.
It does.
They're more likely to embrace new challenges, persist through difficulties, and achieve their goals.
Right.
They also tend to have better relationships, stronger self-esteem, and greater overall well-being.
Think about it. If you believe you can learn and grow, you're more likely to take risks, try new things, and push yourself outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
This can lead to amazing opportunities and experiences that you might otherwise miss out on.
It's like opening up a whole new world of possibilities.
Exactly.
Okay.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave you with a question to ponder.
Okay.
How would approaching life with a growth mindset change your experiences in this new country? What new opportunities would you embrace? What challenges would you face with renewed determination?
Ooh, good questions.
And most importantly, what kind of person would you become? Keep those questions in mind as we move into the final part of our exploration.
Welcome back to our deep dive on growth mindset. We've talked about how this way of thinking can help you learn English, adapt to a new culture, and just live a more fulfilling life,
It's true, and I think a lot of the tips we've been talking about kind of tie back to this one key idea, taking ownership of your learning journey.
Absolutely. It's about realizing that you have the power to shape your own experiences and really create the life you want.
Yeah.
No matter what challenges you face or setbacks you encounter, you can always approach them with this growth mindset.
And a great example of that is how you define success.
Okay.
You see, with a fixed mindset, success might be about being perfect or the best.
Right.
But with a growth mindset, success is about the progress you make, the effort you put in, and all those lessons you learn along the way.
So even if you stumble over words or make some grammar mistakes, as long as you're learning from those experiences and continuing to improve, you're being successful.
Exactly. And the best part, this sense of success, it's intrinsic. It comes from within, not from external validation.
That's so important, especially when you're in this new environment where you might feel like you're constantly being judged or evaluated.
It's true.
For the growth mindset, you can learn to trust your own judgment and celebrate your achievements,
Yeah.
regardless of what other people think.
Now, here's something I think a lot of people overlook when they're talking about this whole growth mindset thing.
Okay, what's that?
It's not about being positive all the time.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's not about pretending that challenges don't exist or that you never feel frustrated.
Right, because everyone feels those things.
Exactly. It's more about acknowledging those negative feelings, understanding where they're coming from, and choosing to approach them with a growth mindset.
So, for example, if you're feeling super overwhelmed by the amount of English you have to learn,
Right.
instead of saying, ugh, I'll never be able to do this,
Yeah.
you might say, okay, this is tough, but I'm going to break it down into smaller steps
Mm-hmm.
and just take it one day at a time.
Exactly. It's about reframing that challenge and focusing on what you can control. Your effort, your attitude, your strategies for learning.
Yeah, and that sense of control, I think, can be so empowering.
It is.
It helps you feel more confident and resilient even when things are tough.
That's so true. And another misconception is that a growth mindset means you have to be good at everything.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
But that's not true at all.
Yeah, in fact, a growth mindset can actually encourage you to explore your interests and discover your strengths,
Right.
which might lead you to focus on specific areas of English that you enjoy or you excel in.
For example, you might discover that you have a knack for creative writing in English or public speaking.
Oh, yeah.
A growth mindset would encourage you to nurture those strengths while also working on areas where you might need more support.
It's about recognizing that you don't have to be good at everything to be successful or to live a fulfilling life.
So true. And remember, learning is a lifelong journey. It doesn't just stop once you reach a certain level of fluency. With a growth mindset, you're constantly seeking new knowledge, new experiences, new ways to challenge yourself and grow.
That's a great way to look at it. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I encourage you to think about how you can integrate a growth mindset into your everyday life.
Start small.
Yeah.
Choose one specific challenge you're facing.
Okay.
Whether it's learning a new grammar rule, practicing pronunciation, or even just speaking up more in social situations, and approach it with a growth mindset.
Great advice.
Focus on your effort, celebrate that progress, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it.
Right.
Remember, you have the power to shape your own learning journey and create the life you want.
So powerful, and never stop exploring. There's a whole world of knowledge and experiences out there waiting to be discovered.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
That's a great way to end this deep dive.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you next time.